There's Ken.
Yeah.
How's it going, man?
Hey, man, I'm doing great. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hey, Ken.
Sweet.
Nice shirt.
Hey, thanks.
Yeah,
It's the
Nice,
Jag
nice
great
Panzer.
hat.
band.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look at you styling and profiling. Loving
Yeah.
it.
I got a nice little hat here too. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Looks like you've been on band camp.
Yeah, that's right.
Good
Yeah,
job.
I got this and I also got the baseball hat. So
Nice.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick up a baseball hat myself.
Nice. Yeah, I would hope you would get one, for being in the
Yeah,
band.
yeah.
You should get one
I
at
might
least.
know somebody. I
You
might know
know,
somebody.
yeah, yeah. If you need the address for Bandcamp, I can send that to you.
Yeah. When we're done, send me the link.
Okay. Yeah, it sounds good. That sounds good. Um, yeah, I'll be wearing the that. And I have some gifts for you guys. And
Oh, sweet.
yeah, so I want to bring those to you because I'm really excited to finally get to see you guys live,
Oh, yeah. I'm excited to play. It's like what, 5 days or something? Well, yeah, like
Yeah,
5 days.
right. Friday. Yeah,
Yeah.
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 Yeah,
Right.
my
I'm
wife and
looking
I are
forward to meeting
driving
you
out.
guys. Are all three of you coming, or just you,
No, it's
Mark?
just
Or
me. Those two slackers aren't
Yeah.
gonna come.
ton of a bitch.
Unfortunately, I wanted to. I couldn't get the time, Ken. I would have loved to meet all you guys and stuff.
Oh, no
But
worries, man. I'm just giving you some shit. But no,
You're
I'm looking forward to meeting all you guys
yeah.
in person someday. But Mark in a week.
Yeah, you're getting the talent, so
yeah, boy, his head can't get any bigger, right?
yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah. I had to shave my head. It was getting so big.
Whoa.
Um but no, this is good. I'm excited. Looking forward to seeing you guys and just hanging out, and we'll talk more about that and how
Yeah.
that's going to go. It's going to be a nice venue. It's a really intimate venue, so I'm really very excited about that.
Yeah.
There's one other band that we've interviewed. Haunt is going to be there. So we talked with him, the
Yeah.
singer for Haunt.
I know Sam, or I've met Sam, the bass player, before.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
The other bands I've not seen before, so I'm really excited just to see who's going to be there. Now the night before, I don't know if I'm assuming you guys are going to be there like on Thursday. Is that when you're coming in, or are you coming in Friday?
No, we're flying in a day earlier, so yeah, we'll be there Thursday. I can't tell you. I can't even tell you exactly what time we're getting in. I think it's the early afternoon.
Okay.
I had some strides to. I'm kind of bummed that Flotsam had to cancel their tour. Just because they had to cancel it. That's a bummer for any band.
Yeah.
But I was looking forward to maybe if I had time to check them out as well. But yeah, we may or may not get over there Thursday to check it out. But I'd like to see it if I can.
If
we'll definitely be there Friday.
If you do, the replacing Flotsam is a Cleveland band called Midnight.
Right.
And they are totally wonderful live. I just saw them a few weeks ago in Pittsburgh. It was the last weekend. Yeah, at the Metal Immortal Fest. And they've been around for about 20 years.
Is that in Pennsylvania?
Yeah, in Pittsburgh. Yeah, Deb Levine from Lady Beast puts that on. And
nice.
So Midnight and Glacier, Hyrax, which is just fantastic bands. Every band was so good. Vindicator, just great. A lot of underground metal bands. Really good festival. Midnight's been plugging away for 20 years, and it's just that really big, loud, like early Motorhead attitude. Just fast.
It's like if Venom and Motorhead had a baby. There you go.
Oh, nice. Venom
Yeah.
head.
Yeah, and Venom's actually playing this Thursday night in Cleveland. So another local guy, Curran Murphy, he played with Annihilator and he played with Shatter Messiah. He's playing with a band called 72 Legions, and them, and then another great Cleveland band called Ringworm. They've been around again for 30 some years. Big hard metal hardcore band. And then Satan and Venom Inc. So I mean, it's just a phenomenal show. So
nice.
But yeah, I'll be out Friday afternoon sometime, and definitely looking forward to getting together and meeting you guys in person.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
Excellent.
We'll definitely do that.
We're gonna have fun. We got some stuff now. The last episode that you all were on was magnificent, and so now we got some things we want to gear towards you, and some things that we didn't get to do.
Okay.
with everybody. So, we're going to do that. But so I guess Chop, I guess we should, well, give me a second here. I'm going to pull up something while you can entertain Chop. You can entertain Ken there for a second.
I don't know how to entertain. I try. I guess it's just
Yeah.
all you gotta do is look at me. That's entertainment enough, right?
Wow.
But no,
we want him
Ken,
to stay around, Chop.
I guess I mean I don't want to add questions for the show, but I want to get into it. How has the response to the album been so far, and how's the tour been going with you guys?
Well, we're gonna ask that's what we're gonna start with.
Yeah.
All right. So let's do our intro. We'll get right into it.
I'm blowing my load right at the beginning there, Ken. I apologize. But that's
Oh.
typical Chop Top. That's what they always fucking tell me. So
time for some new socks, Chop.
I picked the wrong week to quit sniffing glue. That's all I gotta say.
That's it. Yeah. Is there ever a good week to stop?
A couple weeks ago. Yeah.
All right, let's get this ball rolling.
Hey, excellent. What's up? My name's Steve, and I make click tracks. And you're watching the show and listening to it, and it's the Heavy Show Heavy Hour on WNCX 98.5.
I am Montag, master of illusion. What goes up must come down, but not always.
Hey, this is Chop Top, and this one's going to be heavy.
And you were watching and listening to heavy metal horror. Oh, yes, you know the drill, Ken. You're bringing the horns right early. Yes.
I'm a veteran.
Yes, we want to welcome back Ken Rodarte from Jag Panzer, the mighty Jag Panzer. Ken, welcome back to Heavy Metal Horror. It's so great to have you back on.
Thank you so much for having me, guys.
We're gonna have a lot of fun. Last time it was just so cool. You guys have been so supportive of the show, and we just really appreciate it. It kind of blows our minds, actually.
Love you guys, man.
But
great.
To be able to do a first time for you guys, we're having all of you on at the same time. That we just feel very honored to been able to bend the venue for that. So we're just glad to have you back.
Awesome. It's good to be back. And yeah, that was a fun time. We had all of us on there for quite some time. I think Mark and Rick popped off even for a while to get Mark to the airport, and Mark came back and it was a good time.
Yeah, that was awesome.
It was like the Brady Bunch. We all, we're all
yeah, it was great.
Down.
It was great.
It's great, man.
So now, Chop, you wanted to ask a question to Ken.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and begin.
All right, Ken. My first question is how is the response to the new album been, the Hallowed, which is fantastic, everybody out there, and how's the tour been going for you guys?
Okay, well, I'll start with the album part, and once we released it, well, I mean, I think there was some press people that got it just before the June 23rd release that were trickling out, and but yeah, all of them were just completely positive. I don't think I read one that had anything bad to say. So yeah, the response has been great to the album from everybody and all the fans. I mean, the reviews that I saw online that were shared between the band members and on online magazines and all that, they were all super positive. And then all the banter back and forth from friends to the band back and forth on Facebook and everything, everybody telling Mark, oh, this is great, one of your best, might be your best, kind of. So it couldn't have been better. I mean, the only thing that could be better now is if someone saw it and said, you know what, this would be great for a movie, and let's pay these guys a lot of money to use their
yeah
anyway.
or pay for a tour that hits all the states, like
I mean, not so much money, but at least if we can get it all into everybody's ears worldwide that possible, except for everybody that's already in the metal right, but if we could get into a popular step up, that would be super awesome. But other than that, no, it's just been phenomenal. It's been great to read about it and just be part of it and see that those accolades are coming to the band and myself included now. It was super awesome. In fact, I was prepping myself before I got on the meeting with you guys, and I went through and read a few of them and stuff. So they were all super killer.
That's
Well
great.
deserved, brother.
Yeah,
Well deserved.
it's a phenomenal record. It just really is. I mean, I've been a Jag Panzer fan for a long time, and the first album I heard from you guys was Mechanized Warfare.
Right.
And because some of my friends, they knew I was an Iron Maiden and those kinds of things. He's like, you got to check out these guys, and I'm like, oh, wow, where have I been? And I just think your sound is still, it runs through it. It's part of the DNA of the album, but it has been elevated. So yeah, it's a phenomenal record.
Well, especially Ken's playing on it. It's fucking
That's
phenomenal.
the
So
solos.
I mean, yeah. I'm not kissing ass, Ken. I'm just saying, it's phenomenal. No,
Well,
no, it's really,
I would
it's really outstanding, man.
Yeah. They've had, obviously Jag Panzer have shredders on all their albums. I mean Chris Rodarte, come on,
Oh yeah.
Joey Tafoya, and those guys, they just got chops I can't even touch. But I lend my own style to it, and so for it to be as well received as it has, I can take that part as a compliment.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I'm very glad to have been able to synchronize into their style and into the album, so that like I said this to someone else before, and it's that because I was jamming with these guys since 2018, I had to learn Chris Broderick stuff. I had to learn Joey Tafoya stuff. And so, over that time, like the first tour was kind of like a fluke. They needed someone quick. And in 10 days, I learned 13 songs as quick as I could, and so I didn't have all the leads down or what have you.
Right.
But as tours progressed and the time went by, I started refining each one of those solos, to the best of my ability, and still do at this time. None of them are perfect or whatever, but the point is that I had time to kind of be enveloped in each one of these guys' style for a while. And so when it was time to actually contribute to the album, it came from a place to where I had a whole bunch of stuff in all these little different toolboxes, and then I just put it together with my own stamp. And so that's kind of how it worked, how I kind of explain it.
Mm-hmm.
Brilliant. So
that's wonderful. So
great point.
How did it feel to play the tracks from the Hallowed to live audiences for the first time?
Oh, it was awesome. I guess that was Chop's second question. So a nice segue. We can to be able to play like my own solos instead of Joey's or Chris's or Chris or what, it was super awesome. It felt really good. I can tell you, I'm sitting there playing a solo. It's like, I'm not trying to do a version of it. I'm not trying not to fuck it up. I'm not trying to see if I can play this part correctly. It's like, hey man, you wrote it. If you screw it up, it's your own fault. So no, we did. In fact, that's one of my little cheat sheets I have here on my screen, is that we do have 1, 2, 3, 4. We played 5 new songs off the album out of about 22 songs. So we played 5.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a big set. Yeah. We
played Bound as One and Pray off the album. Then we played Far Beyond All Fear from Deviant. Then I'm going to screw all these up because I don't know which one they're all on. But then we played The Mission, Shadow Thief, Symphony of Terror, Chain of Command, Dark Descent off the Hallowed, Generally Hostile off of Ample, of course, Stronger Than You Know off of Hallowed, Take to the Sky, Overlord, License to Kill off of Ample again, Edge of a Knife off of the Hallowed, Born of the Flame off of Deviant, Tyranny from I can't remember which one. That was a nice little ball buster solo. Thanks, Joey, to try and learn. Onward We Toil, Black and Iron Eagle, and that's a Joey Chris back to back right there. That last 2, and so but that was the set.
That's a killer set. Wow.
What a set.
Oh yeah.
That was the set. That's phenomenal.
So we had 10 shows. And I'll put it to you like this. July 29th was Headbangers Open Air. And then there was 1, 2, 3, 4 club dates. Then Wacken was August 5th. So that was super amazing. And then we had 1, 2, 3, 4 more club dates. And then the very bookend was Alcatraz Festival on the 12th. And so it was 10 shows. So my point after all that schedule ranting was that the big long list that I read to you was all the club dates. And then so for the 3 festivals, we had to curtail it down and get it down to, I want to say, somewhere around an hour, a little give or take.
Mm-hmm.
So we didn't play that set for the entire tour. We kind of whittled it down to, we had to take off like 5-6 songs for each of the festivals, just because, you know, you don't have enough time.
Yeah, everyone's scrambling for time there. You know, I mean, usually the headliners get about 90 minutes, but most of the bands get 45 minutes to an hour, you know.
Right.
Yeah. So that's fantastic. You know, we had been talking, you know, in the last few months, and one of the things that I know you wanted to talk a lot about and share was some of the stories that happen, you know, at the big festivals. Like when you go there, at these festivals, do you get to enjoy the festival atmosphere as a fan as well? Or are you just so busy getting there and setting up and playing and moving on?
Yeah, you know, I'll tell you what, yes is the answer. Not a lot, but yes. Like, well, yeah, I was going to talk about that. Now, the Headbangers Open Air, which is in Germany, near Hamburg, that place was like one stage. And so there was a lot more access to everybody and all the areas around. So that one just seemed more, you know, it was almost, there was like a backstage area, but then you just walk right out until then you're in the crowd. So there wasn't like a lot of clandestine separation, you know. Now in Wacken, that place, now you see pictures and videos on the internet and stuff, and so you just see this huge stage and a lot of people, you know. And I played the Sweden festival with Jag Panzer in 2019. So what I'm getting at is that you get this feeling like, you know, I put it like this: if like you're in the center, and then you can just turn around and see all the stages, you know, there's that band, there's that band, there's that band. Well, it's not quite like that. And so Sweden Rock was like kind of a realization. So we were on a smaller stage. There was 1, 2, then us, and then a couple smaller stages. And so, you know, our audience kind of was looking at us this way, but then I could look over and I could see the second biggest stage where Disturb eventually played. And then I couldn't really see because the tent was blocking it, but the big stage over there, the big one, that has everybody like Kiss, whatever. ZZ Top was on that stage while we were playing. So it was kind of like you could see stuff and you were part of everything all at the same time. Yeah. So with Wacken, in the past, Mark said that it was a little more like the Sweden Rock Festival. Like, you know, you could kind of get an air as to every area or stage without too much movement or too much, you know, to do. But at the Wacken Festival, it was when we pulled up, we pulled into the place and we got directed to a parking lot. It was like a freaking city, you know, so we got directed to, and they had several different parking lots for bands, artists, press, and just, you know, the normal audience. And so we had to go to this one place, and then another van had to be called out from headquarters and then meet us there and then bring us to this other parking lot to get into another van to get to the actual where the stage was set up. So I got to the stage. Me, Rickard, and Harry, I think, got dropped off at the stage, and we just kind of stayed there. But then Mark and Eric, those guys went to the dressing room. So yet another trip to the dressing room, you know. So everything's just far away from everything else. And so our 2 stages, and I'm glad, because I wanted to segue into this at some point. There's a band, and I didn't get a chance to meet her, but I waved. I don't know her name. She's a singer for Black Mirrors. And so they were on the stage before us. And so we were on, and I can't remember the names of the stages either, but we were on one stage, and then I don't know why I'm looking over here. We were on one stage, and then you know, Black Mirrors played, then we're getting set up, but then Marty Friedman is playing on the stage next to us. So then we're getting ready, then we played, and then Burning Witches played after us. So it was weird. When we were setting up, there was no one in front of our stage, but everyone was over, like, just right in the next area watching Marty Friedman. So we're sitting there setting up, and it's just like kind of a psych, because it's like, oh shit, no one's here, kind of. But then the minute we're ready, then they all just like walked over in front of us. So to drive this thing home, when we got done, they took us to the dressing area, where Mark and Eric had already been. And it was so cool. In fact, I don't know that I posted it on my Facebook or whatever, but you got in there and it was like just this huge auditorium kind of area and just a row of I guess, office cubicle type material, just all these rows of walls. And you just had all these different dressing rooms of the people in there. I can't even remember everybody I was next to, but I know that Evergrays was right down the way or whatever. And so from there, we kind of were able to walk from that central area to the artist mess hall, which was huge in itself, with a whole bunch of, picnic tables in the whole, in the whole place. And then there was a big bar, and then all the hot food or whatever. And I know I've been rambling for a minute, but my point is, my point is that, so it's the Bakken areas were like so separated from each other. It kind of, you didn't get this. It was just like a weirder feel. Like the Sweden rock was all like all encompassing in one area. You could walk a little ways to go to this place and the other. Bakken just seemed a little more off kilter, and Mark said it wasn't that way in the past. Like all the backstage areas kind of met, in the same place. But here's my Bakken story. And then I'll finish off with Alcatraz. But my Bakken story is because of the way it was set up and everything. We played at like 2 p.m. and it took after we played, we got over to the mess hall like, I don't know, 3:30, 3:45, maybe even 4. It had to have been 4, because one of my new fascinations has been Ginger, the band Ginger.
Yeah.
Because Tatiana is just so powerful.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Roman is a great guitar player. I know Vlad's the drummer, and the bass player. He's gonna kill me.
They're phenomenal rhythm section. The band is so fucking.
They're just phenomenal. They're just they're 4 forces, just all in one. I mean,
Yeah.
But so here's my story. So so we were there, and I was like thinking, well, maybe we'll get a chance to go check out some of Ginger, because they were playing on one of the biggest stages while we were, in there eating and stuff. And we had just got in there, we're kind of sweaty, we kind of relax and eat and stuff, and just take it all in. And so I've told Harry, I said, hey, because we were talking about, we're like, I'm not sure, whatever. And so I was telling my girlfriend before I left, I said, it would be totally cool. I want to get a picture with Tatiana from Ginger. That'll be like my goal, that'd be so cool, check them out. Cause I missed them here in Phoenix. I didn't want to go by myself like a big jerk. I should have went, but anyway.
You called us, man. Come on, wait, we'll go with the show. We'll go to a show.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I live in the wrong town.
That's right.
Anyway. So I'm in the guys will all tell you, I make videos to my girl all the time when I'm on tour and stuff. So I took a video of the big screen that was in the mess hall, and Ginger's playing. So I take a video of me standing next to it. I'm going, darling, this is probably as close as I'm going to get to Ginger. So here it is, blah, blah, blah. So then I talk to Harry, we're done eating. And then finally I'm like, Harry, let's go walk over there and let's go check them out, And so by the time me and Harry decide we're going to walk, to yet another area. So all these different areas it was. And the place was muddy, fucking everywhere. Everywhere was muddy. I mean, backstage for the people, for the bands and stuff, it was pretty muddy, but there was walkways and boards and shit like that. But if you were out in that audience, God bless you, man. Because everybody there had like these big rubber boots and stuff, I don't know if you saw the pictures and stuff, but it was just a shitstorm over there in Germany that it was raining everywhere for some time. And so, I mean, there was talk about, I think there was some announcement that they had to not let so many people in this year or whatever. And then there was another festival that very close around the time that actually did get canceled. I can't remember the name of it. Anyway, I'm tangenting. So I could tell Harry, come on, man, let's go check out Ginger. And the minute we started walking out of the mess hall, they were on the screen going, all right, thank you very much. We're like, fuck. Or shit. Or damn. So we're like, whatever. And so, you know what? I should have had this. Let me see if I can find it really quick. I should have had this pin because it would have been perfect for the moment, but I'll see if I can stall for time. So anyway, I was like crestfallen. We're like, well, we're not going to see him. I'm not going to get my picture, whatever. So we were screwing around. And so we're deciding to leave the mess hall And then Harry, we're walking out the door, and Harry goes, dude, there she is. I'm like, no way. And he's like, yeah. And so she was like walking in right when we were leaving. And so he's like, hey, can I get a selfie with you? And she said something to the effect of, well, are you going to get me something to eat first? You know, kind of, because she just got done playing or whatever. And so, but she was very nice, polite, and she took the picture with Harry. And so, you know, she got done with that picture, and I don't know what it was, but I said, uno más, por favor. So she must have thought I was like Spanish or something. So she got all happy and said, yeah, no problem. And so there it is.
Oh man, that is awesome. I'm extremely jealous.
Dude, I'm jealous. Yep.
Yeah.
I'm jealous.
Yeah, so I got my picture.
Cool.
So
that's
that was
fantastic.
Yeah, that
Really
was my
cool.
little Dawkins story I knew I was going to tell you guys.
No,
So,
I love that. That's great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And
Yeah.
Harry was all like, man, she was all nice to you. What the
I got a little jealous.
we tried to get her on the show when we were just starting out because we're all fans. You know,
Oh, yeah.
We all have crushes on her, of course. I mean, who doesn't? You know, she's
Yeah.
gorgeous and she's a powerhouse.
Amazing.
And
Yeah.
but you know, she's just way too big. I mean, we're just two small potatoes, you know, but that's fine.
You never
It's
know,
like,
man.
down the
It's
road, one day, you
Yeah.
know.
Down the road.
Yeah.
Well, I think
So-
they were busy, Montag, during that. They were busy with the new album and touring.
Yeah, they were on the tour and they just didn't have the time.
requirements.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
And that's
Yeah,
totally
that's,
cool.
you know,
I get it.
yeah.
Yeah, they
You
don't.
know.
That's their whole life. That's their whole job. You know, is
And they're
to do
young,
that.
they can do it, and it's good for them. I mean, they are hitting while it's
Absolutely.
hot. Their albums have
Yeah.
been phenomenal.
Mhm.
You know, it's just they're just one of the most exciting new bands around. You know,
Yeah.
They've exploded.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it
Well,
took them
I
a
mean-
long time to get there, and they finally they're getting their dues, and I'm happy for them. You know,
Yeah.
Mhm.
So it was super awesome. So I got the picture. You
Oh,
know, so that was like,
nice.
you know, that was something that I was looking forward before the tour. I was just like, man, if I can get a picture with Tatiana, that would be so awesome. And I
That's
did. So
awesome.
that was
That is
super
kinda
awesome.
great, dude.
You know, I like the way you describe the two different venues because those stories are things that we never get to hear the inside. So that's why we love hearing these stories. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
I would like to be part of the Sweden one more because I want to feel like I'm part of something. You know,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I want to be like surrounded by everything. And if Aachen is like almost like the spokes of a wheel and you're way out there, I can easily see how it wouldn't feel as connected to everything else. You know, it's almost like like three different concerts going on in the same area. You know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, to be fair, I think they do overlap. You know, like someone was playing while we were done. You know, someone was playing while Ginger was on some of the other stages and stuff like that. Like I mentioned at Sweden Rock, when we were Sweden Rock, we played around, and this was in July of 2019, and it was pretty light out still. I think we played at like 6 or 7 p.m. So, but it was still light out because it was Sweden. But when we took the stage, ZZ Top was already performing, so there's some overlap there.
Mhm.
So I am like you guys. I'm curious, like if I was there to see Jag Panzer, you know, how long it would have taken me to walk over to the other frickin' place to see Ginger. You know, I couldn't tell. So
yeah, you have to have a giant program because multiple stages because you got to know who's playing and what. I'd imagine that'd be really a difficult challenge because you're bound to run into a situation where two or more bands are playing at the same time. You're like, where do I go? Yeah, you have to.
You would have to designate. Okay, you know, like for myself, I'd be like, well, fuck, all right, I'll see the first half of them and the second half of them. You know, whatever.
Right? Yeah, to try and get it all in. Right?
Sure.
You try to get it all in. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
You know, the Crucible where you're playing at in Wisconsin is luckily it's just one stage.
Right.
Metal
Yeah,
Immortals 2. There's a band stage upstairs and then there's like a basement stage downstairs. So and it's offsetting, go back and
Where's
forth.
this?
It's at the Metal Immortal Festival in Pittsburgh that I was
Oh,
at
okay, that
last
had
weekend.
two. Okay.
Yeah, it's the venue they were at had 2 stages, and it's nice because then while the one band's playing, the other one's setting up.
Right.
And then there's time like
Right.
you don't miss it. And there's like 5 or 10 minutes in between. Like one band ends, and then everyone migrates down. The next band plays, and they were pretty good on time. I mean, they were really good on time.
That's
so,
good.
but
Cool.
Well,
yeah.
I think that lends to because Vakken it's just the number of bands and the location.
Right.
You know,
Mhm.
Vakken's 3 days. It's the middle of Europe, where metal is super fucking still huge, and there's I couldn't tell you. Well, you know what? Here I ended up I might have stolen this off the dressing room when I was there.
Might have. You got
I
to
might
know.
have.
Might have.
Yeah, keep them coming.
Right. Might have.
Well, not this one. This one was from Colossal
That
and
is so cool.
so I fit it in one of my guitar cases.
Wow.
Well,
Yeah,
you
but
should.
this
They
is
should.
what I'm
You should be
talking
able to
about.
take that home anyway. It's like it's you. Oh.
Oh my
Nice.
God.
So this is a little more bands than that festival you were at.
Wow. Yeah. No
Yeah.
wonder they have like 5 stages, everyone playing at the same time. You can't
Right.
fit them all at once.
That's what I'm saying.
Otherwise, you got a
Yeah,
3-minute set. You got time for half a
That's
song and
beautiful.
go.
That's great. Yeah. Holy
Yeah,
That's
shit.
great.
They were super nice. I mean, they had these in like, I want to say every other dressing room or whatever. And so I saw one of the band's places across the way from ours, and our handler, if you will. I'm like, can I? He's like, well, yeah, go ahead. Yeah. Anyway,
Nice. I
Really
remember
cool, dude.
the first time
Alcatraz-
I saw. Oh, sorry.
Alcatraz set up the same way. Alcatraz was set up the same way, but that's another one to where that one I felt a little more like the Sweden Rock Festival. It still had a little tangent separation with a couple. That one was it felt more like Sweden Rock than Bakken did for sure. The Alcatraz one. So when we got done there, we played just after Vicious Rumors and just before Riot 5, I think. I know we played after Vicious Rumors stuff because I've been friends with their guitar player Gunnar on Facebook, and so I got a chance to meet him on this tour. In fact, I met those guys at the Headbangers Open Air because they played the day before us and we're still hanging around.
Nice.
But anyway, so after the Alcatraz Festival, when we played, it was still just about light out. But then, and my girlfriend had been there at that one because I got her out on the last couple days of that tour. So she and I, and then Eric, the bass player, we were all walking around and checking out the different areas and stages and stuff. I got a T-shirt and everything. So, but yeah, that felt a little more like the Sweden Rock one because even though the grounds were like a little more separated, you could walk to them pretty easily.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
that makes a difference. Makes a difference. Yeah.
Yeah, we don't,
Yeah.
we don't have these kinds of festivals that much in the mainstream here. I think Ozfest was like the last big one that would hear. There was an occasional World's or what was it, the Monsters of Rock, but it's the underground festivals are where that you have the all day long kind of things. Like the one you're kind of going to. There's a lot of underground bands, at Blades of Steel. And he was at Metal Immortal. I mean, a lot of the same bands run through these guys. So,
Randy.
Yeah. Randy was at Pittsburgh.
I saw that he was at that festival as well too. So.
Yeah, that would be great. I mean, you'd be good. It would be a hike for you guys to come out and play the show in Pittsburgh, but that would be an awesome venue.
Yeah, we'd like to see if we can't find somebody to rep us here in the States. We have a production company that's primarily for European booking, and so Jag Panzer is a DIY in the States. So if we can get an agency behind us, we might be able to make some things like that happen.
Well, that'd be great. Or work it yourselves. Like, that would be the thing. Like, talk with Deb. I don't know if it would be financially feasible for you guys to all come out to Pittsburgh and play. I mean, there's about 300 people there, at the venue. I just don't know. But it'd be nice.
We'll see what happens. We got some. We have some plans to do some things, possibly in Colorado and maybe the Midwest in March coming next year. DIY thing, Oklahoma City, I think.
Mm-hmm.
We did the first tour I did with those guys though, with Jag Panzer in 2018 was we did 4 dates back east. We did I'm gonna forget. We did Massachusetts. Where did we play? We played in Worcester, Massachusetts. Then we played at Sellersville.
Hmm.
We played in Sellersville, Pennsylvania. At I forget the name of the venue, Sellersville something, but and then we played St. Vitus in Brooklyn, and then the Jewel in New Hampshire. So I mean, who knows? That would be cool.
That would be cool. That'd be great.
Awesome.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. What song do you most enjoy playing live?
Yes.
Nice. Okay.
No. Well, I got to tell you, like one that I really enjoy playing is Harder Than Steel. I don't, it's just a killer speed, killer tempo. Everyone loves it. I mean, I know Generally Hostile's a good fast one, but I just like Harder Than Steel just because of the fan reaction. Another one I like to play a lot is Shadow Thief. Again, the fan reaction, because once we start playing it, like big years fly, they're like, fuck, we're like,
right.
Right on, man.
Yeah, you get
Classic.
the reaction. Yeah, you see it.
But I enjoy, I enjoy different songs for different reasons, I suppose. I like the Far Beyond All Fear. It's not always on the song list, but I love that one because that's the first song that I had to learn by the band, and so that was like the first song on my CD because I would play the disc, the tunes in my car always. Whenever I was driving to and from work, wherever I was going, I'd have that disc in there. Just in fact, I'm so nerdy. I listen to like the same. Well, actually, with Spotify, I've been branching off a little bit to listen to other wild things. But I mean, I primarily, like when we did the Hallowed, when we recorded the Hallowed, that's all I was listening to, all the files on Dropbox and stuff. And then I was like, when it first got released, I can go, oh, now I can tell my car, play Stronger Than You Know by Jag Panzer. Woo! Because it was public and everything.
Yeah.
Anyway, what the fuck was I saying? Oh, yeah. Okay. So Far Beyond All Fear was like the first one. And so that was like one of my favorite ones. And I love that solo. So that's a good one. I love to play that one. Chain of Command I love that solo. I love playing that solo. It's just like its own little, like they're all their own little compositions in and of themselves. But that one, I just kind of like that one because it seems like it just, I don't know. It just takes me to a different place. I think that's a Chris Koska solo. I think Mark said that he had some hand in dialing in that solo in the writing. And so I really like the composition of that solo and I like playing it. Let's see. Boom. Born in the Flame's a ripper. I like Born in the Flame. That's a fast one. That's a Joey one. We didn't play this one on too many tours, but in 2019 we played Fire of Our Spirit.
Oh.
And that has like 7 flipping solos in it. Like 2 main, like a half of a main one, and then like a big main one, and then like 4 other little ones.
It's like the Hangar 18, Jag Panzer's Hangar 18.
So I really like that one. And then Black's a cool little solo. I like playing that one. Iron Eagle, when I first was grabbed for the spot, I'm like, holy shit balls. Oh my God, this is like a 2-minute solo. And it's a Chris Broderick solo. Oh my God, But over time I kind of dialed it in. I put my own little flair to it. I think I catch all of the key spots. But I really enjoyed playing the Iron Eagle solo. At first it was like really nerve-wracking, and I was always wondering if I was going to get that first hammer on right all the time, in that vein, Take to the Sky is also a great solo. I mean, everyone sees that hammer on thing, and it's just like, oh, and I don't think I've nailed it perfect yet on tour. But
that's part of the live experience, though. You don't expect perfection. You just want to. It's about the passion,
Right.
And like I want to hear Stronger Than You Know because I love those dive bombing solos and the screams.
I was saving those for last.
Yeah,
I was saving those a couple for last. Now, Bound in One has a nice ripping solo in it. So that's but I don't know why. I figured I kind of think that's an easy one for me. I don't know why. It's mine. Prey doesn't have a solo. Oh, Dark Descent. Shit. That's a fun solo. That's a fast solo. That's cool. Yeah. This last tour, I just barely became comfortable with playing that one live. I had 10 shows to do it. So, when I'm in practice now, it's like, I feel I'm much more relaxed playing it. But yeah, that's a ball buster. But Stronger Than You Know, that's one of my favorite solos to play and songs to play, because it took me a while to figure out, how to play part of the rhythm and then where to stop doing that before I do my squeals. So yeah, no, that's an awesome one. And that's a fast solo too. The main solo starts with that Mark penned that part. And then I was given free rein to come up with that next part. And so as the chords rise, I just did a nice little fast riff to fill up each part. In fact, I almost plugged in my guitar so I could be talking to you and playing this stuff at the same time.
Oh,
I don't know why.
that would be awesome. A
Yeah,
solo,
well,
a solo performance. Yes,
yeah.
Right?
we got time.
For Chop
Well,
and
you know what?
Montag,
That's right.
you know,
Yeah,
we are
we're
special
gonna rub
guests.
this in. We're gonna rub this in Dreadbull's face. Oh, guess what? Yeah, Ken played us some
Yeah, look
songs.
what you missed
A
out,
private
Fred.
performance from Ken Rodarte. Yeah,
Right.
thank you.
Well, you know, I may or may not have already turned that shit on. It doesn't take that long. So, but anyway, yeah, let's see. So the
So what guitar are you using?
I'm using my Carbon Strat. This is the one I recorded the Hallowed with.
Okay.
All right.
But this is the
Not hearing anything, Ken.
Yeah, we lost your audio, Ken.
Oh, Ken, we
Oh,
lost
no.
your audio. I think maybe it was
Lost
too
your
loud.
audio.
We lost your audio. We heard
Oh,
none
no.
of that. Maybe the
Yeah,
microphone
we
was
can
too
hear-
loud for the microphone. Maybe it shut off.
oh, maybe let's see. Let me do this.
Maybe turn it down just a touch, and maybe we can pick it up.
Maybe.
Nope.
Nope, not yet.
Balls. I don't know why that
Damn
is. Well,
I mean, it comes on
Well.
when you're talking.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's just,
Is it a microphone that detects voice as opposed to other noise, other sound?
I'm going through my phone.
Oh,
We'll
Okay.
see.
Yeah. I do the same. So
Can you hear
I get
that?
criticized.
nope.
Okay. Well, lesson
Oh.
learned.
Okay,
Um,
now we know.
I was prepared.
Well, thank
I'll
you,
tell
though.
you what.
Ron.
Yeah. Well, my studio setup is has a little to be desired, only because I run everything through my laptop, but I have it closed and I use 2 smart TVs for my monitors.
Hmm.
And so
Okay.
that's why I'm using my phone. And I didn't know that I wasn't able to play flipping guitar at the same time. And that's really a bummer. So,
Yeah.
so I will figure out how to do that. In fact, if I get a webcam and then I'm able to do Zoom through there, then you'll have me back on and I'll just rip out solos for you guys.
Yeah, it'll just be Ken Rodarte's solo night. We'll just sit
Yeah.
back and just watch you play solos.
Solo
That'd be
tour
awesome.
for Chop and
Yeah,
Montag.
don't worry,
Yeah.
Chop. I'll get to hear all the solos in a couple days. So, you know.
Yeah.
Bragger. Damn it.
Well, that
I'm
is
jealous.
in fact terrible. So I did not know that was going to happen. But so back to where we were, and I'll just have to describe it verbally. But you guys have heard the album so many times, and your review was, you know what solos I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So maybe the rest of whoever's listening to this, if you don't have the Hallowed, go get it so you know what the hell we're talking about.
Exactly.
Don't think about it. Buy it.
But
That's
yeah.
right. Buy
so
2.
if you just if you just tuned in, we were just talking about what solos I like to play, and we went through all of the ones that are on the list so far, and some that weren't on the list, like Scarlet Letter, because that's a really fun
Oh
one
yeah,
to play live.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then Fate's Triumph is one that I learned, and it was on the list for this most recent tour, but we just never, the time constraints or something. That was the one that we always just took off, and we actually never played it live. So I learned it for nothing. But anyway, no, it was fun to learn. It's always fun to learn because learning's fun. But anyway,
right.
So Stronger Than You Know is a ripper, and I love playing that live. And again, it's one that I was off the album that I'm on, so it's like I'm not trying to do anything like anyone else. It's just me.
Right.
So that makes it even more exciting, more special. We did play Edge of a Knife.
Oh,
and if
nice.
you remember that solo, it's basically just a da-dun, da-dun, da-dun pulse underneath.
Mhm.
And it's got that sine wave that's just going.
Mhm.
So the intro of that song is the sine wave with all the special effects and the Morse code in the beginning. And so when we got to that solo part, I thought, well, it'd be cool if I just do this. It's musically technical sextuplets, but that's the six notes in a row over and over and over again. And so I climbed it every time. in the D minor scale. I went, and I just like, you know what, I'll just do it the whole flipping way from one end to the other. So when you hear that solo, you know what I'm talking about. And as every time it goes, every time the chord changes, I just go up with it, up, 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 up 7 times until I finally hit that highest note. So that one was a fun one to play. And then getting to the one that is like my most favorite one. Just not that it's just the one that when I put it on the album, when I was writing it for the album, and I don't know how much you want to go into detail on this, but this is one that when I heard the song, with the exception of the very beginning of the solo, I kind of had it from where it started to the end almost immediately. It just, I had, in fact, before I had all this setup, I had just barely started making my studio into this modern age. So I was using my laptop, but I was sending Mark videos of me playing along to the tunes, you know, at first. And then before I got my software up and loaded and he was emailing me the tracks, I could just download the full rhythm tracks into my software here and then just play along with them. But anyway, that's one of the ones that was just right off the bat, like I knew kind of exactly how it was going to go. And so Onward We Toil happens to be one of my favorite solos to play. I think it just, I think like Chain of Command, you know, you got the song Chain of Command. It's, you know, all about the military and it's got the chants in it and everything. But then when it goes to the solo, it just all of a sudden takes you on its own little journey, you know, for Chain of Command. Hey. And then, so in Onward We Toil, I feel that in a similar way, you have the whole song of Onward We Toil, we're toiling, we're marching. It's a kind of like, but then all of a sudden when it gets to that, like just before the solo, that little preamble, if you will, then when it kicks in with the full beat again, I think that solo just kind of takes you on its own little journey, similarly to as Chain of the Command took you on its own little journey. So I love that solo. That was one of my favorite ones to play also.
Nice.
Now, Ken, I'm going to switch gears a little bit on you, but I believe in the first interview with the entire band, you said you are an avid horror fan. You like horror movies?
Yeah, you know that I do. I'm not like totally super into it. I mean, the things that I watched. Have you ever? Greg and Dana, the paranormal investigators, Kirkland. They had a movie out called Hellier a couple of years ago. Yeah, and so I just watched the new one by them called The Unbinding just last night. So to answer, I still am. I don't. How do I say this? There hasn't been like a new movie in the horror genre that really knocked me off my feet as of late. You know,
that's a good point.
I love Halloween. I like The Fog. I didn't really care too much for the Friday the 13th movies or
Nightmare on Elm Street.
Krueger, what's that?
Yeah.
Dream.
Nightmare on Elm Street. Yeah.
Yeah. No. You know, I really got into the gory ones that, you know, when I was younger and stuff, but I don't really watch a lot of them. I don't really watch a lot of movies anymore, period. To be fair, but the horror genre,
you're a very busy man.
Horror genre was my favorite genre. I mean, I didn't like comedies more than horror. I didn't like dramas more than horror. I didn't like spy movies more than horror. Horror movies was my forte. So, I mean, I guess you could say yes, but again, I just haven't. The last
nothing's really knocked your socks off, you know, in quite a while.
The last horror movie I watched was Cobweb. That just came out. I don't know if you heard of it.
Yeah, I've watched some on Prime, a trailer of it, and I'm like, it seems kind of interesting. Was they good?
It seemed like it was going to be kind of cookie cutter, like, but I mean, it was entertaining. It kept me, you know, it wasn't just like, oh, fuck, I know everything that's going to happen, kind of, you know?
Right.
But no, you know, if you start citing off some ones like you guys were on the last interview, you know, I've seen like most of all of them, but yeah, horror was my deal.
Well, for me and Montag, The Exorcist is the scariest film of all time. I watched like that. We got to watch that together. We can't watch it alone type thing.
Well, the first one's
Still
kind of
freaks us
outdated.
out.
The second one, I don't really remember quite a bit of the second one. I think that's when they were going to Africa a little bit or whatever. But The Exorcist 3 was really cool.
Really good. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
remember Exorcist?
Oh, I love
Yeah,
Exorcist
George C.
3.
Scott.
When the guy was like all
Yeah.
this,
Yeah, I saw that in the theater. And it's that
Yeah.
long hot shot of the hall. It just sits there, stationary camera. The nurse is going back and forth. And then there's that scene where the camera zooms in. And I sat back in a seat like, oh fuck, oh, because I couldn't sit back far enough. Yeah, that movie is just fantastic. And Brad Dourif is just amazing. And I love the cast. It's a great cast. Jason Miller's fantastic.
right?
George C. Scott.
George C. Scott. Now, the thing that sticks out to me is when George C. Scott would go in and interview the guy, I forget his name, but he's the possessed guy.
Gemini, yeah, Brad Dourif.
Yeah, he's
Gemini
all.
killer. Yeah.
All I remember, and I'm gonna fuck it up, but he's just good. Yes, I'm afraid. He would always say, "But yes, I'm afraid." He was when he was. God, I wish I knew some of. I remember some of the lines in there because they just like really tripped me out. Because he was like George C. Scott was trying to figure out how these old people are like getting out and killing people, and the guy was just sitting in there. It's like, oh yes, we drained all our blood, I'm afraid, or whatever it was. It was just like this kind of
There were a few drops left over for it's not perfect.
Yeah.
But pearls before swine. Yeah. His performance is just brilliant.
So that was, and plus I got so old and I work in a law office and my brain's all over the place, but my dad's will still tell you that he saw me in a room reading the Amityville Horror book and my hair is like standing straight up. But we went to that movie when it came out. And I'm sure there's some I'm missing. I mean, The Thing, for the time and place with Kurt Russell, had some serious cool special effects.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
For the time, it was before CGI and everything.
Yeah, I prefer practical effects. I think they're better. We're actually going to be doing a slugfest where we compare The Thing and then Alien. We think two of the best horror films of all time. Yeah.
I got to tell you, Prometheus. See, I'm like on the fence with the horror, but I like a lot of sci-fi, and in fact, Prometheus happens to be one of my favorite movies.
Oh, fantastic film!
Yeah, that's the prequel, obviously chronologically after Alien, but
it's a good movie. It's done well, and it looks good. I saw that in the theater with some friends, and I thought it's on. I'll watch it. I just really like that movie. Alien Covenant I thought was garbage, but Prometheus was great.
I didn't like that one as much as Prometheus either, because it had this weird tangent as to how all those people were on that planet, and then David was like, there was two of them. One was the robot, but one was already there, kind of. And the only reason I'm so familiar with this stuff recently is as I watched a week ago, I watched the making of Prometheus, like a 2.5-3 hour thing on YouTube. I was just watching.
Really cool. Yeah.
No good reason, but that was Prometheus was an awesome movie, and Alien Covenant had a lot of effects in it and stuff, but the story didn't grab you like Prometheus.
It was confusing as well. Yeah. It wasn't a very good story.
What's some other good science fiction-y horror movies? I'm not sure.
Event Horizon is a really good one. Event Horizon is great with Sam Neill.
Yes.
That's got a creepy
vibe.
Yeah, that's really fun. It's like Hellraiser in space.
Yeah.
Oh, I watched Hellraiser 1, 2, and 3. So I mean that goes back to my horror history. I think they made 8 of them or something. I mean, I didn't watch The Doctor. What was the first one? We want to taste the pleasure of your flesh for eternity. Kirsty. Yeah. Okay. Then and then the third one, Doctor. They had that creepy octopus thing on his head, and he would just get.
Oh, that was too.
Hold him around the labyrinth and stuff, and he would talk, and he'd be like, something like.
That's it. Yep.
Nice. Yeah. So I got my Hellraiser history, but like the 4th, 5th one, and 6th one. They started. I think I watched part of the 4th or 5th one. They it all had to do with a nightclub and strippers and stuff like that. I watched the first 3, but I couldn't hold on to anything after that.
Yeah, there's only so many sequels. They after a while they just gotta learn to let it go. If Frozen has taught me one thing, it's to let it go.
Yeah, right, Rob?
Yeah.
Sylvester, I'm sorry. Did I say that out loud? No.
Nice, nice. I would like to switch gears a little bit. We've got a segment we call one-offs. These are questions that could be just about any topic at all. So we cover all kinds of variety of things.
We did this last time, so I hope
did
you
we
got
do the one-offs?
Well, I might have different answers today.
Okay. I think I was gonna say, well, we might have different questions. So
That's okay.
yeah.
Okay.
What movie have you seen over 20 times?
Prometheus.
All right. Did I ask you who your favorite cartoon character was?
You did not, but I think it's a toss-up between Spider-Man and Speedy Gonzalez.
Oh, nice. Excellent.
And Secret Squirrel.
Oh, yeah, nice.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah. I forgot about that. Yeah. Yeah.
Which
Good one.
celebrity would you most like to have a drink with?
Well, Dave Grohl.
Nice. Do you have any hobbies aside from music? Do you have any hobbies? And if so, what are they?
I don't. I'm sadly just a guitar player, and that's it. Really, I mean, I enjoy like revamping the acre I live on. You know, I don't think landscaping is a hobby.
Hey, why not? You know,
I used to do a lot more art kind of stuff or whatever, but no, I think playing guitar is it.
Okay. What's your favorite book?
The I Ching.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
Hmm.
And looking back on your career, what is your biggest regret, if any?
That I didn't learn the diatonic scales sooner than I did.
All right. I don't know. I learned one scale when I was when I took guitar class. I learned one scale and I'm like, that's I can't. I don't know the notes. I can't do that. I know the chords, but I look at I look at the fretboard. I'm like, it's like looking at a piano. I'm like, I don't know where the hell I'm at. I'm just gonna play. I'll just be a rhythm guitarist. That's fine.
I play by ear a lot, so that's how I learned Ken. And
that's part of the problem, Chuck, right?
I need to educate myself with the scales and stuff. The proper.
Now we should be able to hear this. I hope.
Yeah, this is an acoustic guitar. So
yes, right? There we go.
Okay, so to answer your question, when anybody that plays guitar will know that there's a pentatonic scale, and that's kind of the first one you learn to kind of play rock. And so it's like
E, F, G, A. That one. Yeah. Oh.
And so there's 5 of those patterns that go together. Anyway, I don't have them memorized, see, but I'd have to. I'm under the gun, but there's 5 of those that fit together, and so I knew like the first one, the third one, and the 5th one, and I still have problems with the 2nd and 4th one just catching it. But I know what they are. I just have to play slower. But I usually just run through the first one and then slide through the 2nd one, go to the 3rd one, and depending on what key they are, they're in different places on the neck. So the diatonic ones are like this. So there's 7 of those that fit together. And so those are the ones I'm referring to. I wish I'd learned all 7 of those a lot sooner than I did, because knowing those helped me to be able to play the leads that Joey and Chris Broderick and Chris Koskett all play. And so, I just before the time that I was asked to play for the first time in Jag Panzer on tour, I had gone from learning the 5 pentatonic patterns and then was doing my best to memorize those 7 diatonic patterns, because once you know those, the modes, playing in modes, start to make sense. And that the modes are always like this clandestine thing of, oh my God, no modes, how you're playing in the Lydian mode, fuck, are you Steve I? But all it means is playing, all the modes is like you take the diatonic scale, because if you play it in one spot, for example, if I'm playing it here, I didn't know this was going to be a guitar lesson. Did you? Okay, anyway.
No, it's great.
So the G note scale's like, So if you play this pattern in a different place, well, I can't explain the modes in 2 seconds, but once you know all these 7 interlocking notes, then you can play in any key anywhere on the neck. To play the modes, you just the easiest way is that you just pretend a different note in the scale is the root note. That's the easiest way, but it takes a lot of time to go through and understand what that means. For example, I'm playing. That first note is like, okay, that's the main note. That's what makes sense.
Your root. Yeah.
If I play this, see how it doesn't sound like a major scale now? It doesn't sound like it sounds. So that's how the modes work. In other words, if I'm playing in G and I do play G major, then I go. See, it's just you just anyway. You just pretend that the root note. There's a pattern of whole. Yeah, there's a pattern of whole and half notes that determine the way the scale is going to sound. So if I go, then that's Ionian, or it sounds major. If I do it this way, then that's called Dorian. If I do it this way, that's called Phrygian. If I do it this way, that's called Mixolydian. You know, so yeah. Anyway,
yeah.
I'm gonna put that away.
Well,
it's time to learn guitar with Ken.
Now
Rodarte.
I'm going to put down my guitar, Ken. Thank you.
Yeah,
So
thank you.
I'm never
thank you, Ken. I've been asking Chop to put his guitar down for about 30 years. Thank you for finally doing it.
Anyway, so that's
cool,
the
man.
regret is that I didn't start learning that shit a lot sooner than I did, and I was on a path trying to, and I can probably, you know, if I could probably sit and explain it. I think I kind of touched on it a little bit. You could tell the different flavors of each scale. Yeah, you know, but I mean, there's something to it. It's like really weird. You know, they're all fit together. And then you just kind of slide them up or down depending on what kind of flavor you want. That's the modes. And so there's 3 things going on. You got to remember the 7 things, the 7 styles, and then you got to remember what the names of each of those patterns are, and then you got to remember whatever. Yeah. Anyway, so it's lot. It's hard to explain. It's easy, but it takes a lot of time to explain it if you don't know what the hell it is. That's what the modes are.
That sounds like me.
Yeah, our heads will explode. We can't hold that much knowledge.
Yeah, I learned one scale, and then I thought I'm going to be a Paul Stanley non-Ace Frehley. You know, I'm just going to play rhythm and I'll just play chords, and that's fine. You know, I'll pretend to play a solo and I'll do some hammer-ons, and sure, it's quite beautiful. Yeah. But you know, that's fine.
Yeah. So to be fair, you know, I'm still, you know, anyone that tells you that they know everything is full of shit, you know. So I mean, I'm still learning stuff like that. I mean, you can learn all those 7 patterns that I'm talking about, but then there's one called the harmonic minor, which is the same one, but every 5th note is sharp, and so that changes the pattern all over. You know, so that's one thing you can learn. I got my Pinterest. You know, like, you know, it's Pinterest is like for, you know, girls that collect handbooks and this, that, and the other thing. My Pinterest is all just guitar scales, you know. Nice. So I sit around and just kind of dick around with those all the time. In fact, let's see. Oh, I closed it up. But anyway.
Okay. Well, what's your favorite chord?
My favorite chord. I think it's got to be the E. I don't play it anymore, but I think it's got to be the I don't even know the name of it. It's the Purple Haze chord.
It would locked out. We can't hear it now. No more audio. I don't know, but I know the song because I've heard it, but I don't know the chord.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah.
But I also like this chord from the Chili Peppers.
Oh yeah, it's gorgeous.
Yeah.
I'm an E minor guy. I like E minor, but
Yeah.
you know, because you can play some you know, music for a Western on there. You know, just
Yeah.
play,
Well,
you
my
know, get that
favorite.
little E minor, and then like, you know, F minor, and you know,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, my favorite chord's got to be E for that reason, because you can just play up and down the neck. E, like C is the main chord for a piano, so E is the main chord for a guitar.
Yeah.
Unless you have a 7-string, so then B would be your main one. So, but anyway,
All right, this is great.
yeah,
This is great.
that's too hard. That's like saying what's well, I guess you can't. What's your favorite ice cream? Yeah, favorite ice cream. That's easier to answer than favorite chord.
Good, because we're going to ask you that in about 2 minutes.
Okay.
We got some hypothetical situations that we'd like to go through. I don't think we had a chance to do this on our
I
big meeting.
apologize, Ken. I had to step away for a minute. I apologize. So I'm back.
Oh, we didn't know you were gone, Chop. It was pleasant. It was pleasant. Nice. It was nice. So
This guy thinks he's a talent. I'm the talent of the show.
Okay, Ken. First hypothetical. You're on a desert island. What 5 bands' discographies do you want with you?
Shit. Okay, well, I'm going to say Mastodon, because they're new for me. They've been around forever. And I like new Curl the Burl.
Dude, it's
and
great.
I like Steam Breather. I like Steam Breather because I saw this drum video to where it's on a drum YouTube thing, and there's this girl named Domino, and so they played Steam Breather to her without the drum audio. It's a show to where they play the song without drum tracks to a drummer just to see what they would do to it. So that's how I discovered Steam Breather. But anyway, I was like, man, these guys are really good. So for that reason, because I like the songs that I do, and I don't have a lot of experience with all their albums, I'd be on that desert island and I would listen to all their shit to and from, back and forth. So Mastodon, Stone Temple Pilots. I got a place in my heart for Stone Temple Pilots. I would just say Ginger, only because they're like new for me now. So then I would be able to go through and hear all their stuff. I mean, I've been listening to them. I haven't heard all their albums back and forth either. Let's see. I know what you're asking for, like, you know, your favorites.
No, just, I mean, hey, is whatever ones you want to pick. I mean, sometimes new music is what you need. You know, I get it. Yeah.
Yeah. We need new injection.
Jag Panzer. So that's 4.
Yep.
And then maybe Soundgarden.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah.
If you
Very
could,
eclectic. I like your choices are great. Cool, Ken. Yeah.
if you could cover an entire album and play it live, which album would it be?
UFO, No Place to Run.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Good one.
Nice. What's the
That's
thing?
a great album.
sorry.
I love that teenager. And, you know, I had, before I could actually play and even be in a band or whatever, I thought that would be really cool to even play just the first couple of songs. And I just love that whole album. I know it's dated, but the songs are just so really good on that album. I like it, you know.
Absolutely. UFO is great anyways. Good choice.
What's the thing you love most about being in a famous band?
That I have 4 dudes that I can call my compatriots and travel around the world, or around the world with, and enjoy the experience.
Nice. What's the thing you love least about being in a famous band?
That we don't play enough.
I'll second that. Yeah. Hey, the Cleveland area needs you.
Hello, Cleveland.
Well,
yeah, we want.
No, I mean, I guess that's a reasonable response. I know I'm kind of being funny, but you know, it's like, okay, you remember the band now. I mean, not that I was or wasn't. I mean, I guess there's more accolades, you know. I mean, I'm wherever the band's membership is, there's my name, you know. So that's obviously very awesome, and it stands to reason that yes, I am in the band and I'm on the new album. So that all notwithstanding, it would be great if we were in a position to where we were able to do like a huge, or not huge, but at least a pretty good size U.S. tour or longer European
like a
tours.
4 month tour. Yeah, that'd be really cool.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
be kind of
so-
consistent. Yeah,
So yeah, I mean, and that's not a bad thing, but I mean, I don't know if that's a selfish thing. I think it's just, I think it's, yeah, I wish we could do more stuff as Jag Panzer.
Mhm. I guess the
Consistent.
pleasure of being in a band is playing live. I mean,
Yeah,
recording's
yeah.
great. It's
Mhm.
nice to hear your
That's
stuff
what-
recording, but there's nothing like being in front of people playing your music.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right, we're gonna switch games. This one, I don't think we played. Maybe I don't think so. This one's called Blast Beats. Did we play this with you last time?
Okay, it sounds familiar, but go ahead. I have to answer something the first thing off the top of my head.
Oh
right?
yeah, maybe we already played it. See,
Oh, we played it then.
I usually
Come
highlight
on,
the
man,
questions
Jag.
and I color them a different font color so I know what we did and what we didn't do. And I didn't see Blast Beats. And I thought,
Okay.
well, maybe we didn't, but we could go, and if we did play it, just let me know. We can move on. It's okay. Hot dog or hamburger?
Hamburger,
Favorite pizza topping?
pepperoni.
Paperback or Kindle?
Ooh, paperback.
Favorite streaming service?
Spotify.
PC or Apple?
Apple.
Favorite holiday?
Halloween.
And here's the one that we were going to talk a few minutes ago. I told you about. Favorite ice cream flavor?
Daiquiri ice.
Ooh. Dog or cat?
Yes.
Marvel or DC?
Marvel.
Star Trek or Star Wars?
Star Trek.
Dracula or Frankenstein?
Dracula.
Bigfoot or Loch Ness Monster?
Bigfoot.
How do you like your steak cooked?
Between medium and medium well.
Favorite movie snack?
Peanut butter Snickers.
Favorite sport?
Hockey.
Favorite subject in school?
English.
Least favorite subject in school?
Math.
Favorite board game?
Ooh. I haven't played a game in forever. Sorry was a good one.
Yeah. Spielberg or Tarantino?
Neither.
Favorite Christmas gift?
Presence of my loved ones.
Your celebrity crush?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I used to have so many in teenage years, like Cheryl Ladd, Cheryl T, Farrah Fawcett.
Oh.
I don't know. I don't really have a celebrity crush, I could say. I mean,
Okay.
I say Tatiana from Ginger, but I'm just more fascinated about her as a singer. And I mean, she's just a normal person. I don't really have any, ideas like, oh, one day I'm gonna,
Yeah.
I don't know, really.
Yeah. She's gonna have the hots for me. Right, exactly.
Doesn't
I'll
even
say,
know.
step in line, Ken. Get behind
Yeah,
Montag.
Toddy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's just. I mean, my two favorite actresses, I would say, it'd be Kate Beckinsale and Scarlett Johansson, maybe.
Nice. Okay.
Does that qualify?
Yeah.
Hey, it's all good. And our last beat question: your favorite line or favorite scene from This Is Spinal Tap?
Oh, we did this.
Did we? Okay.
This one we did because I remember Nigel. He goes backstage. Nigel, what's wrong? I don't know. What, Nigel? What? What is it? Sound check? Your guitar? What is it? No. It's this food backstage. We have this meat, and it's like it doesn't fit on the bread, and the bread you just have to keep folding it. I keep folding it, and then you end up with this. And I don't want this. I want.
Yeah.
We'll talk to some. I'm a professional. I'll rise above it.
Got tiny bread. Reminds you of all your craft services,
Oh.
right? That's your show.
Yeah.
Oh.
Or
Great.
honorable, Artie Fufkin. Can you
Just kick my ass.
I don't know. I don't know what happened. Just kick. Can you just kick my ass?
Yeah, right here, right now. Just go. Seriously, kick my ass.
Artie Fufkin.
Yeah.
Get at Artie Fufkin. That thing was chock full of fucking great stuff.
Oh
yeah,
right.
yeah.
You don't
Christopher Guest at his best. I mean, I love the Guestian comedies, but that one and Waiting for Guffman, Best in Show, Mighty Wind,
yeah.
so good. Did we do the hot seat game?
Let's find out.
This is where I name a band, and I want you to tell me your favorite album by that band.
We did not do this.
All right, here we go.
Right.
This one's called the hot seat because it tends to make people squirm, because sometimes they don't like a band, they don't know the name of the album, and they're like, they feel, I should know the name of the band. So this is the hot seat. Black Sabbath.
Heaven and Hell.
Judas Priest.
Screaming for Vengeance.
Halloween.
Don't know.
The Beatles.
Yeah. Meet the Beatles? Nah. I don't know. Meet the Beatles.
Okay. Rush.
2112.
Opeth.
Don't know.
Iron Maiden.
Number of the Beast.
Testament.
Don't know.
Queensryche.
The Warning.
Anthrax.
Oh. Among the Living.
Megadeth.
The one with Hangar 18 on it.
Rust in Peace. Great album.
There you go.
Alice in Chains.
Facelift Dirt.
All
Dirt.
right. King Diamond.
Them.
Dio.
Last and no. The first one, Dio.
Holy Diver.
Holy Diver. Yeah.
Yeah. We just did a slugfest where we compared Holy Diver and The Last in Line. And sometimes if you want to come back on, Slugfest is really where we compare track by track, like a boxing match. Track one against track one, track two. We work our way through both albums, and at the end we see who the victorious album is. One track at a time. It's that's pretty cool. It's pretty fun.
I didn't realize. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, you didn't realize what?
I didn't realize. Dio was. He had his heyday, right after Holy Diver and then Last in Line, because I remember he came to Phoenix, Arizona probably about I want to say 4 times within a few years, and then he had the Dragon and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, Sacred Heart tour. Yeah.
But what I'm getting to is that I didn't realize, when Nirvana happened and everything, he didn't disappear. He was still going on and shit. And I never knew that Jeff Pilson was in Dio for a while. The guy from Doc. Yeah. So that was, so when you started talking about Dio, I remember, oh yeah. My favorite Dio song is This Is Your Life. That's an excellent song. Since we're talking, no guitar in it, no Vivian Campbell, Rowan Robertson, no Craig Goldie.
RJD, man. Yeah.
That hits you in the feels, man. I love that song.
Yeah, nice.
Absolutely.
Nice.
We got
Yeah, that's a great song. No, I get it. I mean, his voice is one I sorely miss. One of my favorite singers, and it's just
I still miss.
It's just so powerful. It's just I get it. Yeah. Just a few more in the hot seat here. Motorhead.
I don't know any different ones.
Okay, Slayer.
I don't know any different ones.
Kiss.
That was my first favorite band when I was 10 years old. My first album that I ever got was Kiss Alive, so I'll go with that one. All
right. And the last one, Jag Panzer.
The Hallowed.
Nice. All right. This game is called Name That Festival. Did we do that? I don't think we did this one. Jag Panzer is playing a festival with 2 other artists. I'm going to spin the wheel of mystery to find these two other artists, and then I'd like you to name the festival that you're all playing at. You're going to come up with the name. So I'm going to share my screen. We are all going to see the Wheel of Mystery.
Montag's Wheel of Mystery. Here we go. Yeah.
That's right. Can you see the Wheel of Mystery, Ken?
I see the Wheel of Mystery.
Yes.
I am mystified.
Yes, I'm going to spin the Wheel of Mystery. So Jag Panzer, and now there's anybody here from Britney Spears Slayer. So anybody. Oh, almost Britney Spears. Oh, it looks like ABBA. Nice. ABBA. Very good. Okay, so we Jag Panzer and ABBA.
ABBA.
And who else could it be? Ooh, it's maybe Taylor Swift. Oh, it looks like Wham. Wham, make it big. Okay, so we have Wham and ABBA and Jag Panzer are all playing the same festival. Ken, what's the name of that festival?
Wow. I can't believe it's not Butter Festival.
Nice.
No.
Hey, right. Which
Yeah,
one of
it's
these
Dick.
is not like the others? Like, yeah, right.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I was trying to
That's a good one.
like something sensible, like the Mama Mia Wham Panzer. Yeah,
Wham,
Mama Mia Wham Panzer extravaganza.
Wham
There you go.
Panzer. You've got to have a
Wham
Wham
Panzer.
Panzer shirt.
Yeah, the Mama
Gotta-
Mia Wham Panzer extravaganza festival.
You gotta sell Wham
Great.
Panzer shirts, man. That is awesome. That is great.
Yep.
That's great.
Wake me up before you go.
That's right. We're stronger than you go. Okay. We're gonna wrap things up here soon here. This is about fandom, Ken. We are all fans of other artists. So what is your favorite piece of memorabilia that you've gotten from another artist?
Oh yeah, we did this with the all the guys.
Man,
But
where was I? I wasn't marking these down.
you got to check your notes, man. This is
I
really
know, man. I know. I had COVID a few weeks ago. I'm just going to blame COVID.
Come on, man.
I got COVID brain.
Yeah, you know,
Yeah, use an excuse.
one of my favorite ones that I told you guys, I got a few, but one of my favorite ones was I saw Chris Cornell on his Euphoria Morning Tour, and I got the song list. I don't know where the flip it is, but that's my honorable mention. But here's the song list from my first Jag Panzer ever tour.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Oh, wow. Really
And
cool.
Far Beyond All Fear was like the first song that we did, so that was like why it was one of my favorite ones to play. But I got it signed by everybody. So yeah, that's my those are my two probably. An honorable mention is my better half and her twin sister has a friend that I met out in Chicago. She passed away. Her name's Claire. And when I met her, she said, Ken, here, you have to have this horn. So now I have my horn and I can toot it too. So
nice. There
so
we
that's
go.
another it's not meant for this, but it's my own horn. I can toot it.
Fantastic. Fantastic.
Cool, bro.
Oh, do you have any questions for us that we can answer? We've never offered anyone else to ask us questions.
Yeah,
Let's
we've been
open the floor
selfish.
up.
Well,
No,
how long have you guys been doing the Heavy Metal Horror Podcast?
Over 2 years.
about 2.5 years. Yeah.
And who of the three, whose idea was it?
Mine.
Well, I was doing another podcast called Unsane Radio. I still do. And
I was on the final episode of Heavy Metal Horror because I blew it up. No, I'm kidding.
and
Me and Montag had a conversation.
well,
I'm
we were
sorry,
doing a
Montag,
game
you
night during COVID, online game night, and Dreadbull and Chop and I were talking afterwards, and Chop was saying, how he really kind of liked the fact that I was doing this other podcast, and it would be really cool if we could do something together too. And I'm like, yeah, that sounds great. And Dread was right there, and I'm like, yeah, well, what do you want to do? Let's the three of us do it. And we all like metal, and Chop and I love horror, and I just came up with the name. How about? No, I think it was Bloodletter. Our friend Bloodletter
Came
came up with the name
Yeah.
Heavy Metal Horror. I'm like, that's
Cool.
perfect. That's perfect. And you know, we just started by like going through like band like top to bottom. Like I forget we called bottoms up, where we took a band and we ranked their albums from the very worst to the very
Full
top,
discography.
and then
Yeah.
just kind of started talking about horror movies. And then it our first interview was during COVID. It was Carl Sanders from Nile was doing guitar lessons online, and I reached out to him and I said, hey, if we bought like an hour of your time, would you come on our podcast? And he's like, oh yeah, sure. And I'm like, dude, fuck, we got Carl Sanders. Are you fucking kidding me? Yeah. And then once we did that, we're like, who else can we get? And then it just kind of started
Got Eric
snowballing.
Wagner,
Yeah, it just
Ralph
started
Sheepers.
snowballing. Yeah. It
Just
just
reaching out, cold contacting, really, Ken. And
yeah.
just
And then making
way
connections with
beyond what
Metal
we've
Blade.
expected.
Yeah, Nikki Law at Metal
Yeah.
Blade got us, was reaching out to people for us, and it just kind of like word of mouth spread. And then one of the guys who was with us, Vic Wildcard, he's been playing in a lot of bands for a long time. He knows connections. He knows everybody in the underground metal business community.
Scheduled like our first year, like every
Yeah,
show.
he got us
just
about
connecting.
30 years, so 35 interviews with all these underground metal acts.
Nice.
And it just kind of exploded from here,
There you go.
So yeah, 2.5 years, and we were doing it like every other Sunday. Like Unsane Radio is every other Sunday. But it just got to the point where it was just too much, and we decided to cut back. We took a break after about a year and a half. We took about 2 months off, and we came back and said, let's just do one Sunday a month. We record 2
Couple
episodes,
shows.
and we just do like every other week, and then that way we have a weekend that's free, for ourselves. And everybody has families and other lives. So, but yeah, I mean, we love doing it because we get to spend time with people like you and just get to hang out. And we've been friends for Chop and I've been friends for 35 years, and Dreadbull and 45. So it's just longtime friends who get to like hang out and have fun.
Right. Well, that's awesome how it all came together. It's just a melding of everything that's favorite with favorite people, and then it enables people like myself to be able to get drawn into that as well.
Yeah, well, we appreciate the time that you give us and your guys' support. I mean, when we first talked with Mark, it was just I was so surprised when he wrote back like, I had a great time. I'm like, dudes, Mark wants to come back on our show. Can you fucking believe that? That's just that really? What. And he's like, yeah, it was a great show. I'm like, oh, okay. And it was just so real that we maintain these relationships like with you guys now and other bands and Sorcerer and so many other artists that we've met that we continue to talk to and have relations with. It's just amazing.
Yeah, Sorcerer played at I was just gonna bring up this show at Blades of Steel that you're gonna miss, Chop, but whatever. But
yeah. Sucks to be you, Chop.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Our last US appearance was September 7th, 2019 at Prague Power. And when you brought up Sorcerer, that's why I remembered it, because I met the bass player Justin.
Yeah.
So I got a picture of me, him, and Rickard at the catering place. So
nice. Yeah, Justin's awesome.
Oh, Justin is fantastic.
Yeah. Have you heard the new single for their new album?
I have not. And
it's on. Oh yeah, it's on YouTube. Oh, I won't say a word.
I saw it on Facebook actually that they have a new release.
Yeah.
As soon as we get done here, I'm going to play it.
Yes, it's called Morning Star. The new album is called Reign of the Reaper. It comes out October 27th. And
nice.
we're going to be doing a live reaction to the album. We're getting an advance copy. And then and then the whole band's going to be on, just like with you. They've been on a couple times.
Oh, nice.
And then I arranged something because we had just talked with Nibs Carter from Saxon. And so I was talking with Justin, and like they wanted to meet Nibs. I'm like, so I was like, okay, I talked with Nibs. I said, hey, would you mind coming back on? Because there's a couple guys from Sorcerer who want to meet you. And he's like, oh yeah, no problem. And so I was like, I got the 5 families together, so here I am. I got Nibs Carter and then Justin and the singer, just everyone, and they're just like hanging out and talking and trading stories, and I'm just sitting back watching like a fly on the wall. Like it was just so weird and kind of fun, But
yeah, it's really
cool.
So
yeah.
All right, well, we are going to do our outro and we're going to get out of here. But first, we want to say thanks again for spending some more time with us, Ken. And
thanks, brother. Appreciate it.
so looking forward to meeting you guys in person and seeing your show. I'm really excited about that.
Me as well, man. It's going to be awesome. I'm excited for the show. And, we were joking around that you should check it out, at the last interview we did. And here we are. You are coming out, and you catch us live, and we're going to hang out afterwards or before.
That's fantastic. Yeah, that's
or
great.
Before and afterwards.
Yeah, I'll give you the details after the show. I'll let you know when I'm coming. But yeah, well, that sounds good. We're
Awesome.
driving in that morning. Like my wife and I are hitting the road at 7 a.m. We're driving there. We're going to go to the show, spend the night, and we're going to drive back 7 hours to get home the next morning. So yeah. So hey, you can find Heavy Metal Horror on unsaneradio.com, listen to full episodes, or download to your device. You can find us on Facebook, Heavy Metal Horror Podcast. On Instagram, look for Montag Lewis, one word. Our YouTube page, Heavy Metal Horror Podcast. If you're watching, that's where you're at. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. And if you know someone who would like our show, tell them about us. This has been Montag, Master of Illusion.
Chop Top.
And you've been watching and listening to, all right,
Okay.
Bring up the horns. Heavy metal horror.
This is Doug Helvering, and you have been listening to Heavy Metal Horror, the best podcast that you've never heard before.